far, as well as the rest of the team Empire, but we also have a competition to win a Asus Matrix graphics card. And these graphics cards might be in those awesome Asus PCs that they're playing on down there on stage. And yeah, it's like MVP of the day, basically. You just Facebook.com/ROG Nordic. Also, shout out to Rocket. They've got competitions going on Facebook.com/Rocket. And Need for Seats, the comfy seats that the players are sitting at. Facebook.com/Need for Seats. Promotion done. These guys will be getting into the draft soon.
Yeah, we're actually inside already. Looks like both teams want to just get the game started straight up.
So predictions on the style of play that you think both teams will go for?
I think Empire always pick lineups that are capable of fighting at any stage. Like even PA in that game, even though it didn't have a great start, you can still fight with it because he did go for the 4-1-4 build, so he only had one blink strike, max of his blur, and max dagger, so you can continually chase because you're relying on the dagger cooldown to chase with your team, not necessarily the blink strike itself. You need the evasion for the survivability, and even without the help of like a Treant or a Wisp, which we commonly see paired with the hero, they managed to make it work with using an AA instead. So if they pick something similar to that, I think it could work out, but anything that can fight really from Empire.
Clean slate is for Cloud9. Like that was a brutal loss. They know it's a brutal loss. They know they threw. How good they could kind of put that out of their mind and play a good game 3 is going to be, I think, the vital factor of this game.
We'll really see Cloud9's true colors this game. If they can come back and if they can win, like we will know they're a team to compete for that title. So I really hope they can get it together after the last game.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean to ride on a high horse. Actually, that's Looney's job as being keeper of the light. But I said it before. It's Empire's games to lose. I mean, even if they're under the deficit, they can play really well. That's exactly what happened.
You call Empire to win the whole tournament, like day 1.
I said so. I'm glad the guys didn't disappoint me so far. But I think it's the same. I mean, you saw the team winning under really, really bad conditions. If I was Cloud9, I would be really scared right now. I think it's Empire's game.
If I was Cloud9, I would focus my efforts on getting a support or supports with really good team fight, which is Earthshaker and Sanking. Give Pylai one of those, and because you know Empire are going to want to take those 5v5 engagements. Give Pylai an Earthshaker or Sanking, you can get involved. I wouldn't be interested in seeing them kind of play the Bane, you know, even with the Mirana, because it seems a little bit too ficklety. You know, you're looking for a lot of picks, and we've already seen Empire's movement is amazing. Their warding is amazing. You're not going to find as many picks versus Empire, you know, as you would versus other teams. They're not as loose as Mouse Sports, you know, and that's what happens versus, you know, teams like Alliance. And, you know, when they went over to China, that was like kind of the experience. So get Pylai on a Sanking or an Earthshaker, and then you've at least got some counter initiation, which it seems like the game is much more about. So if Cloud9 can do that, I'd give them, you know, the advantage. If their draft doesn't go well, I think Empire are going to steam.
I think like there was nothing wrong with the draft at all in the last match. Like their draft proved that it could really crush during the early and mid game. It was just mistakes. Like that's just what the story's been.
I want to ask one quick last question. If you are Cloud9, do you want to deny a specific hero to Empire?
I think denying the DK is always going to be a smart move. They just play so well around it that it's not worth dealing with, in my opinion, especially when you're one game away from elimination. So if I were them, I'd ban it.
Okay. Do you agree, guys?
Yeah. I think Brewmaster as well.
Okay.
I would rather take out Brew
well
than DK, to be honest. Like Mag's playing so well on Brew. All right, we're going to go into the game, into the draft for game number 3. There won't be any pauses unless there's problems. We spoke about brownies earlier. So they were actually handing brownies around for the production team to keep them awake as well, because everyone's worked so long here at DreamHack. And apparently someone who was handing them out dropped one on Nukes' head, which bounced on the keyboard, which hit F9. And that's actually why the game got paused. Because Nukes is downstairs going, can you believe it? The brownie. I'm like, it's a horrible excuse. It actually happened. So no pauses, hopefully, unless any problems.
Seems legit, James.
Yeah, seems legit. That's when stories are that crazy, they're normally true.
Yeah.
So don't worry, Nukes. We got your back here up in the studio, and great job thus far with the adminning as well as the rest of the team from DreamHack. Into game number 3, we're well into the draft. Over to Andy, Lumi, and Shane.
Well, regardless whether Cloud9 is comfortable or not, they are going to get 2 of their best heroes. It is Doombringer, it is Batrider. So that's a great start for Cloud9, but if you're an Empire fan, well, Mirana's where they want to start most of the game as well. It really fuels your offensive trialing. It really is a hero that can extend mid into late game as well. So I feel like both teams are getting the heroes that they want. Brewmaster being taken out, something that we talked about during the analyst stage, as well as the Tide Enigma combo taken away from Cloud9.
Which has been seen pretty frequently, I think, throughout the whole tournament. That would have been, what, like the 4th time that we saw at this game that it was actually picked up. So I do like the fact that, wow, Empire actually go with the Visage. This is the first time I've seen them run this hero in the whole tournament.
At the LAN event.
At the LAN event.
Yeah.
They've probably run it before in the league itself, but I'm just not used to seeing them play it that much. Sure, it's a hero who definitely can fight, and that's what I think we said was going to be the common denominator between all these games. Is Empire are never afraid to take engagements. They're never afraid to go for the 5-man behind or ahead. With their execution and how well they fight, I'm not like even a little bit surprised that they want to take it this way. I don't know, I feel as though, like, Batrider Doom is obviously a very strong opening 2, but I feel like that's almost punishable in a way, because Doom, in a sense, is a bit greedy of a hero, depending on how you lane it, right? Like, some teams will sacrifice it, put it in the off lane, which is what Bone 7 does most of the time, but sometimes you put it on Envy and you want to try to farm the safe lane, so if Cloud9 does something like that, you're already looking at a Mirana Visage +1 tri-lane, which can punish any of those kind of farmy-centric heroes they're going to be putting in a safe lane. So, still a long way to go before we know exactly what each team is going to be doing, but we have a pretty good idea that Doom's going to get some items.
If you're Empire now, do you want to set up an offensive tri-lane with Mirana and Visage?
I think you keep your options open and wait to see what Cloud9 supports are.
Okay.
If they pick some weak defensive supports, like Rubik, for example, I don't think he's okay.
He is pretty weak.
Okay, let's say Rubik, for the sake of discussion, is a weak support in terms of defending against that trial. Yeah, you go for the trial.
You pick AA and you go ham.
Yeah, you do go ham. If you're Cloud9, I think you're kind of somewhat forced into hiding your support somewhat. Maybe you have to pick up Sing Sing's hero right now, or you just straight up ban out the offensive trialing supports like AA. Wisp is probably just something that they're afraid of.
Alright.
That's where I'm at.
I kind of agree with that. I think this since you've already seen the cores out, you're really looking at the supports to dictate what the lanes are going to be. So whoever actually has the pick out of the ban phase who picks first, I think is almost at a disadvantage to a certain degree, because you're going to be showing what your lanes could potentially be a bit sooner than the opposition. And in games like this where it's elimination, you figure out one lane, you're like, oh, we can do this. And then suddenly maybe one team is kind of in a really bad spot. Kind of similar to what Cloud9 had going last game, but I think those lanes were so weird. Like, that was probably the most unorthodox laning I think I've seen so far at the LAN finals. So I don't know if anything like that crazy is going to happen 2 games in a row.
So Cloud9 ban out their own Drow.
Well, they know the power of the Visage Drow combo.
Yeah, true.
So whether
Empire
will take it, that's another question.
I don't think I've ever seen Empire play.
I don't think I have either.
Okay.
Can't take a chance, man. Got to say nope, ban it out. Shadow Demon.
All right, defensive support. I mean, this is where you start. Not just for the early game, for the mid game as well.
And it kind of counterpicks Empire as well. To
you take it away from them.
Yeah, exactly.
But Ventral Swap is going to be a defensive way to break the lasso. It only works well if your Venge is highly level.
Level 11 plus, look.
And also if the Batrider doesn't have a 4-step. Because most of the time you could blink in, turn around 4-step, kidnap, out of there.
Okay.
I think overall though, like Empire, very, very good amount of damage. Like, it's even a split between magic and physical, which I think is really important, because sometimes you see these lineups and you're like, oh man, once they get BKBs, suddenly your team fight composition just becomes kind of meh, and you're not really doing a whole lot until you get to like that next stage in the game where BKBs become less relevant, which you don't always make it that far, right? So I do like the damage what the Empire currently have. You got double disable coming between VS and Mirana, and you have follow-up soul assumptions, and your right clicks are still going to do a decent chunk. So I do like the way the Empire are going about this, but not to say that Cloud9 has anything wrong with their heroes. I just feel like Empire's supports that they've shown, it doesn't necessarily give you an advantage in knowing what's going to happen, because it can be aggressive, it can be defensive, you could roam with it. It's a lot of options.
Does Cloud9 ever play Centaur? Lumi?
It is a rare pickup for them, now that I think about it.
I think everybody plays it though, right?
Yeah, they do. Just, it's not their go-to hero.
Alright. I think it might be pretty decent there.
I want to see Bounty Hunter, man.
Bounty Hunter?
Bring back the Alliance-style Bounty Hunter Batrider games.
Well, I don't think Cloud9 has the player.
Yeah, they can't because Seven will play both of them, wouldn't he? All right. So Shadow Shaman coming from Cloud9. Is this a Sing Sing Shadow Shaman?
It could be. I think regardless of what kind of Shadow Shaman it is.
There it is.
Well, here's the thing about DK. I think Bat Rider is actually quite good against DK because you jump, because what DK does is he sits in front of the tower, he tanks it, he trade hits with the tower. Bat Rider blinks in, drags him so far back, even into the tier 4 towers. If you have like something like Mask and Madness on your back, then he's in trouble.
But that's like super late game. At the stage that Dragon Knight is pushing in these games, it's really, really early.
That's true.
Like, Bat probably barely has a blink dagger, if even.
That's true. At the same time, when you have Shadow Shaman, you could just put him in a Mass Servant War Trap as well.
True.
You gotta land the trap though.
Yeah. And he has to be level 6 as well.
I also think in between Shadow Poison as well as Aftershock, you have a decent amount of like lane clearing capability. And if Empire wants to stay outside your base, you keep poisoning up, and that can add to a lot of damage. So I think in terms of base defense capabilities, Cloud9 has okay heroes, not too great. It comes down to what item Bat Rider has. Also, it really comes down to how the laning stage goes, as it always comes back to that. Yeah. If Empire's up 11-0, it doesn't matter if you have Keeper of Light even, you're not going to defend.
Okay.
So with that being said, Cloud9 are potentially looking at their last support here, unless they want to play it greedy and just do a safe lane Shadow Shaman, Shadow Demon, which is going to be fun to say in the game, by the way.
5 seconds remaining.
You're gonna then maybe have a Envy safe lane Doom offlane Bat Rider, and then this will potentially be the mid.
What about like something like an Ursa or an Alchemist?
Okay, so it is going to be a safe lane Doom.
That's a lot of defense for your base, I think.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, you have Acid Spray, you got Mass Serpent Wards, you can use Firefly as well to play Creep Wave, Poison Spam. They do have a very good amount of D-push, but it's weird because it's not like instant D-push, it's kind of over time you'll eventually get the wave. I guess you have Ether Shock as well.
Yeah.
So
I know the Alchemist stun won't do too much damage against DK, but it's a melee versus melee matchup. I think that sort of favors Alchemist because he has the Acid Spray.
The Acid Spray nearly zones him out completely when he gets to level 5.
Well, he also has the Dragon Blood regen, so it's like...
I don't know.
The Acid Spray still out damages it by a pretty good margin. I'm actually not sure though if it's still going to be mid-alch. It could potentially just be support Alchemist, because Alchemist roaming with Shadow Demon I think is one of the strongest dual roams you can possibly put together. And even against the DK mid, if it's Shadow Shaman mid and you disrupt the DK, he is dead. Like, you're going to get shackled, you're going to eat a follow-up concoction, you're going to get soul catchered, and all the bad things are going to be
all
coming
the
out. All the
auras come out from Empire.
Alright, it's going to be a Mag Beast match.
Oh, it is still mid. It is still mid-alch, okay.
I think the mid-alch is a little bit greedier in the sense that you expect your Shadow Shaman to do what a mid Shadow Shaman can just by simply getting levels. Because at best, it's like you drop your ward. Sure, a mid gives you a quick blink, but seeing the way that AUI plays, he's going to get his item somewhere down the line.
Do you think if Empire go aggressive, that Cloud9 are in trouble? With like Shadow Shaman, Shadow Demon?
That would be my initial thought. Like, you would want to go aggressive, but then you're ending up with a Bat Rider versus a Beastmaster, so Mag's probably going to kind of suffer in that lane. But if you're prioritizing just stopping Envy from farming and you want to just make sure Silent has a good start, tri-laning is probably the right call. And plus you can easily block the camps, and then you force the Shadow Shaman into this really awkward spot where he might not be able to get a lot.
He's a very level dependent support as well.
Yeah, he needs level 6 pretty badly.
I think if you're Cloud9, the priority is immediately to go into the top portion of the map and make sure that it doesn't get warded off.
Oh, Ewi starting off with boots first on Shadow Shaman, giving him the speed to get the shackle.
And you can see that both team is going to that, like, whether Cloud9 gets their pull off, it's going to be absolutely huge. And in fact, Empire spends a smoke to get to there quicker.
I think I favor Empire level 1 more than...
Yeah, considering that all 5 of them are actually grouping together.
And also, they have a lot of stuns as well.
Yeah. It's close though, because one disruption can be the end of any kind of follow-up that you have, right?
True.
And then you have concoction.
He's got boots first, so he doesn't get stunned, and in fact he won't, because Menscore is not going to be fast enough. He's going to be a run off.
I always want to fly was at the front there. I think they would have got that.
Arrow's going to get fired. Looks like it's going to miss. But regardless, they got what their objective was, which is lay down. Oh, sorry, he didn't fire Arrow. Yeah, they got the objective off, which is dropping that ward. And it almost makes me want to think that it's a guarantee offensive trialing, but it seems like the way that they're walking their heroes around, it's going to be a Mag Off-lane Beastmaster.
Yeah, he cut the trees too. And I don't think, like, you might still do that if you're doing an aggressive tri-lane, just because you can see everything that's going on. But they even put a ward down there. So I think it's just going to be Mag. And to be honest, Cloud9 are happy with that. I don't think they would have been able to do much against an aggressive tri-lane. Like Shadow Demon and Shadow Shaman together don't offer any damage whatsoever in the laning phase until they start to get to like level 3, level 4. And you'd be dealing with Grave Chill, level 1 Vengeful Spirit Stun into Arrow, which is a very, very potent kill combination.
Do you feel like Empire is missing something out by not going for offensive try?
Well, you're going to stunt the leveling of the Shadow Shaman, which I think is probably the most important thing. Like, sure, you might shut down Envy's farm, but he's a Doom. Like, Doom is going to get items. So maybe they just think that it's not worth it just by stopping the Shadow Shaman from getting a quick 6.
Rather stop the bat?
Yeah.
Okay. So what Beastmaster did here was a pretty neat trick. Cut down the path of trees so he could see the incoming supports. He will never be surprised. And I think that what the counter here for Cloud9 is spend more time going for stacks for your Bat Rider instead of just going for harass.
Cloud9 went for Shadow Poison first. I mean, he's coming in with the boots, with the Shackle.
Oh, he's got Shackle. He could actually do a lot right now. Another Poison stack could do a lot more. Here comes the Shackle. Well, one of the Poison stack missed. I think they're still going to get the kill. In fact, nicely done. Doombringer is going to pick up the first blood. And he's well on his way to his Midas if he wants it.
As a safe lane Doom, that's exactly what you need. Like, all of a sudden your Midas is going to come in at like 4 minutes. And it's free reign.
I would actually say Doom of all heroes probably doesn't need it, but it's awesome to have.
Yeah, it's just like double it up, you know. Meanwhile, there's a big foray into the jungle here as Bat Rider spends a Firefly, trying to steal some of this experience. Gotta be careful, here comes like Grave Chill. You know, just kind of fly things off, but yeah, they're denying a ton of experience by these triple pull that they're doing here in the jungle.
Always kind of constantly walking around middle, applying pressure there.
I think the match between the Alchemist and the DK actually goes in favor of the Alchemist, and especially so because unlike most mids that would eventually get harassed out by bottle throw spamming of a DK and just continuous breathe fires, you can just pop your ulti if you're Sing, and you're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, it's no big deal, just get a wand, I'll have permanent mana more or less in the lane, and that means you'll never get a chance to attack my tower unless I need to rotate to save one of my other lanes.
Looks like we're going to see a little bit of rotation coming out from AEI 2000 picking up Invis. What's important from that previous first blood as well is that Cloud9 knows there's no Observer Ward. Because there's no way a Shadow Shaman could walk up a ramp like that and pull off a gank if there's a ward. So now they know this Invis is somewhat like hidden in that sense. Maybe they could force a kill in the mid lane.
Oh,
it's going to be hard.
You need to lay down the poison first, Shackle, brew up a stun, and then go for the kill. Yeah, here we go. Shackle's gonna come through, the sun's gonna come out. In fact, Bat Rider has joined the fray, but the sun's gonna get canceled. Resolution, however, will still die. Are they gonna go for a little bit more advanced score 2 stack up? They're not gonna give the chase, but regardless, a huge victory for Cloud9 on the mid lane. AEI 2000, a little bit of shadow of Arzard, I wanna say, back in TI2 for Na'Vi. Roaming Shadow Shaman early game, getting a ton of work done. Really impressive play.
A little cool thing he did as well. After coming out of Invis, he auto-attacked.
Auto-attack and then Shackle.
And then Shackle to get that extra damage.
In fact, he's just roaming back again. Can he get the Shackle off? Looks like not. Well, here, give him the good old punch.
It was a nice attempt by the VS, by the way. Vanscore to try to stop the unstable concoction, but the thing is, you still get stunned even if you're standing right next to him, right? So it doesn't matter if he actually targets to stun you or not. He's still going to end up taking the DPS, which is enough to take Resolution out. And I really do think that Sing doesn't really need help in this lane anymore at all. Even if the DK is still farming, like Sing doesn't need help in the sense that the DK is going to be hitting his tower, which is the biggest threat of DK actually in mid. Because then once he gets 6, okay, my tower is actually just dying. Every time he hits it, it's a guaranteed 100 damage that it's going to deal.
So Twilight Eye has been stacking up this camp. So I think Envy might try and get a tornado creep.
I think so. It's also fairly interesting though. Generally you don't want to stack that camp because the Radiant side could pull it.
Yeah.
But maybe he wants to clear it once he gets a higher level of Shadow Poison.
I was thinking that as well, but it'll take ages.
So what is actually going well for Team Empire? Since their mid just got ganked, the top got first blooded.
They're farming well on Silent.
Well, Resolution and Silent actually both have good farm. They might be able to do some damage to Bone 7 here, but I don't think they'll kill. Arrow's going to fly, but a little bit off the mark. They're really good at consistently finding the farm on the heroes that need it, and since they are stacking as well, they're going to be able to get a pretty good chunk for it. Or no, actually, excuse me, they're not stacking. Cloud9 is stacking. Top lane, I'd be playing a little bit aggressive here on back.
There's that Midas. 4.5 minute Midas. He hasn't using it, and I think he wants to go to the right side and get the big creeps.
Yeah, you need that EXP, man. It's the most important thing. And it's interesting to me that he actually put a point into level death. Because the level multiplier at level 1 level death is level 6.
Yes. So you probably need to level it up once again.
Yeah.
Catch him at level 5.
But you're not going to be able to put a second point into it until like level 8 or 9, right?
You could do it at 7.
You can do it at 7, but then you're not getting the maximum points into Devour.
We'll see how he plays it. Or maybe they're going to go for a kill once the Beastmaster's at level 6. There's that too.
Always want to fly with the casual level 3 TB mid. They really want to kill this Alchemist, but he's already level 6. It's going to be a tall order. I don't even know if they have enough damage between these 3 heroes to take him out. Yeah,
unless you chain stun him properly and get a kill before he activates his ultimate, I highly doubt it. Or you could get him low enough where that the regen from the ultimate doesn't really matter.
I mean, to me that looked a little bit suspect. Like when Resolution sits there and like body blocks his own creeps to make him not get the tower, or the enemy creeps, it's like, okay, somebody might be here.
Something's up.
Sing Sing picks up an Invis Rune. That should spell the end of the gank. Like,
should he give the bottle to Ewi?
You can't after you pick up the rune here. Yeah. You have to have the bottle on you and pick up.
No, that's what Shane asking. Give the bottle to AEI and let him
pick up the Invis, and then give the bottle back.
Yeah, maybe. But I think it is a little bit risky still.
Oh, they're going to go for a gank, just Invis himself up. I think they saw the Resolution will take the stun to the face, but here comes Moonlight Shadow. And Sing Sing says, yeah, I'll just back it off. I see Vengeful Spirit here.
No problem.
No harm, no foul. Empire needs to get a gank going, and here comes Visage rotating around, but yeah, they're not going to get much of a gank off.
Bone 7. He's doing okay. 1.2k gold. Holiday's stacking some more creeps. He's just been stacking all game.
It's really good to stack for this type of team too, because not only can the Alchemist farm it, but Aoi can farm it too if he ever manages to get 6. He's on level 3 on Shadow Shaman right now, which is tied for the lowest in the game. But the other supports in Empire are in the same boat as he is, so I don't really think he's worried about it too much. Plus, I feel as though with their lineup, the added push that the Massive Force gives you alleviates a pretty big problem that Cloud9's lineup had this game, which is our push ain't so great.
Yeah.
We really can just kill people, that's about it.
Did you see how they destroyed the camp in the Dire Jungle?
I think it was just like poison stacks, the Midas once or twice, that kind of just like right clicks.
Okay.
So
poison is actually crazy good for jungling, by the way.
Yeah. One thing I do want to mention is that I feel like the Cloud9 support has been doing a lot more than the Empire support. And not just they say that they got 2 kills and whatnot, but whenever the Venge and Visage has rotated, they haven't done anything. The levels of the 2 supports are essentially the same. It's just like, for example, Highlight that has been stacking for the team. For both camps, in fact. Whereas, you know, the Radiant supports are just passively gaining some level in the jungle. So I feel like Empire needs to kind of go for the same thing they did for Game 2, you know? They're falling a little bit behind, definitely not as bad as Game 2, but they need to start amp up the aggression and force some engagement.
What's their kicker? What are they waiting on?
I think Beastmaster. And whenever I see Beastmaster being played, like level 6, TP, smoke, gank, just get kills. I think it's hard to actually get a kill, especially on the mid lane, because Sing Sing is so tanky, but if you, again, chain lock him before he activates his ultimate. But so far he's nowhere to be found because he's doing this in the jungle. This is dirty farming, man.
Hashtag dirty farming.
And Aoi's gonna stay.
Yeah, AEI's gonna get close to 6.
Yeah. Oh, he's actually giving him solo experience.
Oh, this is nice. You don't see a lot of support or mid player do this.
Yeah.
This is huge. Look at this level game. He's gonna hit 6 after that. Holy crap.
Oh my god. That's amazing. And can they do Roshan straight away after this?
They can sneak it, I think. Yeah, there's a Medallion Courage.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That value stack, man.
I think you need to maybe force a fight somewhere else on the map, because it's a little bit obvious, because for now they've been missing for quite a while now, Sing Sing and DI2000.
Yeah.
And also they're losing a tier 1 top tower as a result. You gotta keep in mind that Bat Rider hasn't really joined the team as well, because he's also doing his own thing, jumping. But what is to be said is Cloud9 is really a lot more efficient than Empire this game.
They're just doing everything.
It's funny to me because it looks very similar to what Cloud9 were doing to Empire in the previous match. And then they managed to get in a situation where they really couldn't do anything. They kept like botching these team fights really hard, and then eventually ended up giving the game back to Empire. Since their lineup isn't so ulti-based anymore, and they can just rely on nothing but skirmishes and Batrider initiations and things like that to start fights, I think it's a little bit harder for them to actually give it away based on like individual performances. So basically, in a nutshell, is I think Empire are in a worse spot now than they were before.
Okay.
That was a long-winded way of explaining it.
No, I like the Cliff Note version at the end. You know, I also like the detailed version at the beginning.
You make it sound so much better, Andy.
I don't know. A lot of the time, it's just all hot air, man.
You don't say.
Fine. So Doom actually goes for the mech, which I think is a really nice choice actually against Empire's team, because the best thing to counter lineups that have an innate want to walk into you is to just have your team fight items up like straight away, like mech, sometimes Vlad, sometimes Pipe, you know, just depending on what kind of style of lineup you're up against.
That's also what we saw out of Bone 7 last time. He could have had an early blink on his tie, chose to go for the mech. And, you know, like you said earlier, when you have a mech, you can press advantage easier, safer, and do more. And here comes our Roshan. Now, you could easily just send one person into the pit and just keep using them Medallion, but here comes Team Empire. This is the fight they're looking for. And you can do a lot of Batrider sitting in the front line here. Stun screwed up, he's going to look for a stun. It's going to go right on Mac's face, but meanwhile, on the backline, look at the burst damage. They'll bring down Eternal Envy. Always one flag is going to drop as a result as well. They see AI 2000, they want to burst him down. They burst down Eternal Envy without using a mech. That was huge, but Shadow Shaman denies himself, very nicely done. And Empire Wrestle is quite low. Looks like Bone 7. No, the stuns are over with the Hawk. Nicely micro. You gotta keep in mind that the wards are bringing Roshan quite low. Vanscook's gotta be careful as well. Can they actually take this Roshan? I'm not too sure.
The ward's timed out,
oh, this is gonna be huge. They need it all to get back quick. Highlight Die also on the high ground. He can maybe disrupt, and you micro one of the illusions to deny. He's thinking about walking in there. He's out of mana as well. He sees DK. Roshan gives a bash, and they're gonna just try to zone him out. He could turn around and give us stun. Sing Sing also quite low. The mech's gonna come through. They also have Doom. Is he gonna use that Doom? No, he's out of mana. He does have 10 magic stick charge, and looks like they're gonna just what an awkward exchange of fights. They are gonna get Roshan.
That's a big win for Cloud9. They absolutely needed that, especially given the fact that they lost a couple of heroes at the start. It was looking grim, but everyone at Empire was so low. They couldn't actually continue fighting after that. They had expended everything. DK Form was down, the ulti from Beastmaster was down, Moonlight Shadow was down. There was not a single thing left in the tank. And the really sad part about that is that Always on the Fly wasn't level 6 when they took the initial engagement. So instead of having birds in a team fight, which I think might have made the difference between being able to kill Roshan and like having to run away, like not having those, I think actually was almost a game breaker for Empire there.
Well, it was a lot to do with the level 4 Shadow Poison from Highlight Eye, just constantly spamming it on them.
Yeah. Also, I think that was the best engagement that Empire could have asked for, because they killed Doom
instantly without
activating his mech or his magic stick, which could have changed the fight entirely for Cloud9. Yeah. So Empire finding a bigger hill now. They're going to go for Envy perhaps, but here comes the Batrider initiation. There's no swap to actually break it up just yet, but do they have the follow-up damage? Here comes the mech. They're chasing him down. They still don't have mana for that Doom, and it seems like DK is going to just get burned down by the fire, I think. There you go. Batrider's going to clean things up very nicely. Now Beastmaster will go, and the birds are coming in. The backline arrow is going to come through as well. Starstorm, one hit. They see Bone 7. Can he fly away? One more boar hit. He's slowed down. He's going to be dead as well. The birds. Okay, they got him as well. Sing Sing's giving the chase. Can they land the stun? Yes, they will. And I do believe Mirana's going to go down as a result. But the question is, can these two make it out alive? Because the entire Genki party is coming around very, very quickly. ADI 2000 coming in hot as well, and not able to do too much of anything else. Are they actually going for the hot
6, by the way? Like the supports not being level 6 is actually killing Empire right now. Like a swap very, very easily could have saved Resolution there, or if he had saved his stun, it would be a little bit longer. Because when he stunned, I think was right when the bat was blinking in, so he didn't have a stun to stop the lasso from pulling Resolution too far away to be able to follow it up. So regardless, some nice picks coming out from Cloud9. I think the end card ended up being, what, 3 for 2 in favor of Cloud9, so it wasn't like a gigantic win by any stretch, but getting just a little bit farther ahead, and when you're at this level of play, like just getting the small advantages can mean really so much in the end.
Oh, Mass Serpent Ward's going to get dropped. You knew this is going to happen somewhere down the road, dropping these towers. fairly easily.
I think every time you have your ulti on Shadow Shaman, you should really try and get a tower.
Yeah, it's the same thing with DK form. Like you have it off cooldown, you walk up to a tower, you use it, and you go for the best.
Yeah.
And you have the front line defense from C9. You have the mech on the Doom with the Aegis. You have Sing Sing, who's also really tanky with a Sange.
Yeah.
Just to get up on the front line to protect the wards.
It's also hard to go in. The Bat Rider's looming somewhere.
Exactly.
You know, you're going into an asset spray. It's tough for Empire right now. But you know those river fights that they just took? I think those are the fights where Empire really excels in. Keep in mind with that Beastmaster for vision. So if you fight in awkward places where wards don't reach, again, I think Empire has a small edge. So I just think that they need high levels on their support, and they do finally have level 6 on ban score.
I think this game, if it keeps going at this pace, Cloud9 are going to have most of the map control, I think, in the next 10 minutes or so. Because they haven't been applying too much pressure to towers until just now. Like, that was the first tower, actually, that has died on the side of Empire. And they still have, at this point in the game, over a 5,000 gold lead.
Smoking time.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Cloud9 know, man. They know this is their time. Massive rewards are going to be up in about 30 seconds or so. So if they get a good kill, and they don't take a fight and end up trading, they should be able to pressure another tier 1, but they're going to run right into Silent on the high ground. The smoke breaks, but they don't actually see Daytime coming around into Doom and a Hex on explosive targets. Mag is one, Van Score is the other. Van Score going to be dying first. Mag can't do a thing. Lasso comes in as well, and Elite Fit from Silent. He's going to be able to kill Aoi 2000. In the meantime, we're also going to see the Visage drop inside the woods. Bone 7 retreating from some Visage birds here. He's going to find a double damage in the river. I don't actually think he's going to die to these, or is he? He actually flies down to the ground. The birds continuing to chase. One more hit.
They don't do a lot of damage.
Oh
my god. Okay.
9 HP. There we go. Okay.
But meanwhile, though, the rest of Cloud9 is going to do a little bit of damage to this T1. They don't have those massive rewards, but keep in mind that Aoi is responding. If you TP back, the arrow will hit on Eternal Envy's face. He's very tanky and should be afraid. Sing Sing lobs one stun deep onto the DK. It's time to retreat. They will have ADI 3000. I think he's coming right in right now. The Hex is going to be there. Massive reward trap. Got him. And the chase is going to keep on continuing. They're going to play under the tier 1 tower. Nice DK stun coming out from Resolution. Arrow to follow through. Envy's dropping fast as he has that mech. He does it. Envy's going to go down, but he does have the Aegis of Immortal. And for now, Empire barely can hold the fight in front. Oh, the swap back in. And the Doom's going to get assassinated. The swap's going to go. Twilight die. They're going to get Mag as well. Mag! Shot goes up, and here comes the Bat Rider. It's a never-ending team fight. Bat Score going to be dead. Resolution's going to be dead as well. And I think that tier 1 that was so hard fought will be earned by Cloud9.
I don't know, man. They had to commit so much to that. Honestly, I think Empire still played it pretty well, given the fact that at the beginning they got caught out with 2 different heroes inside of the woods simultaneously. Like, Mag and Van Score, one got hexed, one got doomed. Both pretty much had to go to base, one going the quick way by dying, and the other one just Mag had to casually walk there. So I kind of questioned at the beginning of the fight, Aoi using his wards not in tower range, just to try to go for a support kill.
Yeah.
But it ended up working out because the fight went so favorably for them. I will say though, that Aegis is probably the big decider there.
Yeah, definitely.
If Envy didn't have Aegis, there's no way they would have been able to push that.
Yeah, Envy eventually died a second time, but they had to use so many more spells to get Envy dead. Also, I think Cloud9's giving a little bit of Empire's medicine to them, because normally this is what Empire does.
Yeah.
Like, they fight you under your tower, they kill your tower. Because that was such an early game fight, the Bat Rider as well as the Shadow Shaman that died in the beginning of the fight was able to rejoin again. So, and these fights are not favoring Empire. So going back to something that Andy said, like, I think in a couple of minutes, there is going to be no crowd control, or sorry, there's no map control for Team Empire, because Cloud9 is going to keep assassinating these early game towers.
But then if you think about what happened to Fnatic with the Beastmaster, you still have the 2 Hawks for the vision.
Sure.
So there is always that comeback vision that...
The comeback vision.
The comeback vision.
I think Beastmaster is actually one of the best heroes from behind, because he's so good at turning engagements with his ulti, how long of a disable it is, even goes through BKB. And as Shane mentioned, vision is like one of the most important parts about Dota. I mean, believe it or not, being able to see stuff matters.
Surprising.
Surprising. The more you know.
I wonder if they actually saw that smoke from Cloud9, because somebody drew like a circle on the minimap indicating that. But this time Bat Rider is ready to pounce, and I think they're gonna catch yourself a couple of heroes. Here comes last duel. He jumped right into the Doom. Doom's gonna fly up. Can they actually see him? Dust's gonna come out as well. Looks like, well, Mirana's dead for sure. Let's see how many more they can pick off. Not much more because the TPs are coming out. Vanscore, he's kind of stuck there, and the Batrider will reveal his position. That's going to be a 2-kill pick, and they have the wards, so they can keep going forward and go for a tier 2 push.
Do you even go high ground here?
I don't think so, because if you look at the top lane, it's very pushed, and I think they're going to just go back and farm instead.
Even if the lane wasn't pushed, there's still no time, like only 30 seconds until Morana's alive again. They're actually going to TP away last one in the lane, going to find always on the fly. Bone7 pulling it back as far as he can. Turns out here, Resolution goes in, gets a stun on Aoi before the check. Comes out, Mag with the blink to roar onto Bone7. They managed to get 1 kill. Resolution is ward trapped right now. He needs to hit the ward. Bone7 going to be dying to a soul assumption. Always on the fly. He picks up the double. But Resolution is not going to be so lucky here. Eats an unstable concoction inside of the ward trap, and they have to spray. Going down.
Nice blink out. What a ward trap by AEI. But that was a decent fight in the sense of Empire. I mean, 2 for 2 is not good at the end, but considering the deficit they were behind, I think it would have took that fight.
Yeah,
2 for 2 and Mass Serpent Wards being used is okay, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's an ulti that should pretty much always be used for a tower. So I think it's fine, actually. But the other side of it is that Cloud9 still maintain map control even after that fight goes, like, I guess you could say even trade. Like, they don't care, really. They're just going to be putting up aggressive wards for the future pushes. We saw Pylai Die top just place that ward between the tier 1 and tier 2. So the game plan is pretty much more of the same. Continue to apply pressure to Empire and try to run them over.
Right, I don't want to demoralize Empire fans out there, but let's say Empire, as we see it, like birds being chased around. Let's say Empire could like hold off Cloud9's offenses for the next 15 minutes or so, get some big items up. Is there ever a point where you could say, all right, this is where DK doesn't care, this is where Mirana doesn't care? Because to me, at the end of the day, I see Doombringer, Batrider, 2 of the heroes that says, I don't care how much you farm you have, I'm still going to shut you down.
Especially when they start getting items like Aghanims.
Aghanims, Refresher.
Ward 7, Lasso in the river, Vanscore
yeah,
on the high
right?
ground. Yeah, but he's going to die before he gets to use it. Sound like it's the haste rune though, so worth it?
I mean, is that the issue here? Like, Empire can make the comeback, can get farmed, but essentially you're still dealing with Doom and Batrider, who could just, with one spell, shut down your farm.
To me, it feels like if you Doom the Mirana, then that hero will never really be a factor in the game, because you have to run.
Yeah.
You can't fight after the Doom has already gone off, and in some cases you already have his Shivas up on Envy, and he has 2,000 gold on him already, or 2,200. He can buy a Blink if he wants at this stage. And he can just do what he's been doing pretty much every time he plays Doom, which is Blink in, Doom, Shivas, Scorched Earth, Chase, guarantee a kill, and just go from there. Because Resolution's not going to be able to carry the damage department on his own. Like, sure, you have Visage, you have Venge, you got Beastmaster, but the auras are good if all of your heroes are alive, but if one just gets deleted, your auras don't become, or they aren't as good as they were before, and it is going to be a blink on enemy.
Well, they want to take a fight in the mid lane. I think actually removing Shadow Shaman before he casts his spells, it's a great way to start the fight, but in fact, they're going to smoke all the way top, and let's see if they're going to find the target. The Blink Dagger on Beastmaster is going to be key, but, I mean, if you get a Shadow Shaman, sorry, if you get a Shadow Demon, you get a Shadow Demon. Does it really matter a lot?
I mean, a kill is a kill, right?
Yeah.
They move around the map, they push the lane in a little bit more. They're going to make Cloud9 come back to their side of the map, which I think is more important than the hero that they're actually killing. Because the more time they get, the later the game goes. And the later the game goes, the better opportunity they're going to have for getting more out of a team fight win. And let's be honest, Empire have taken fights with way bigger deficits today than we're seeing right now.
Yep.
What do you think of the choice of going Aghanims on Shadow Shaman instead of
Silent could be in trouble. Resolution going to get doomed up before he's even able to pop his Dragon Form. And he's going to eat one stun into an arrow. Soul Assumption's there. Again, Lasso. And I always want to fly. They really, really hate that bird. They want to continue chasing. Sentry drop by Aoi. Thinking about pursuit. Resolution's Doom is now going to be off. But it still is a 4v5. I don't know if they really want to fight this.
Blink forward. Really? This is going to be aggressive. Ward's going to get dropped in to focus right on Mag. And Mag, look at him getting blown up. Obviously, he's already cast his spells, but the nukes are just way too strong. Wow. The wards are still doing a lot of work. But Sing Sing, though, he's dying fast. He's running to the safety of those wards. Those birds are getting burned up, and there's like a safe zone for Sing Sing. Meanwhile, Batrider trying to get that kill on the DK. I think DK eventually will go down next to that Firefly. It's going to be another Cloud9 victory.
Empire are so aggressive, man. So aggressive. They see the opportunity to go. Envy's low health. They jump back in with Mag. That was a really fast Hex, to be honest. Like, sure, Hex is an instant cast, but
just like the natural reaction time.
Yeah, the natural reaction time was actually very, very quick.
But he used the ward to see him, so he knew when he was going to blink in.
Yeah, that was a good thing. Like, if you're playing support, if this fighting thing happened, drop the ward. But would you say that perhaps AEI should have thrown all of spells for Mag? Because he already cast his Roar. Or would you say...
it was the only hero that was going to be in range of him before he died.
Okay, fair enough. And to be honest, Beastmaster, providing that aura is still a thing. But yeah, I think Shane, you were bringing up a question earlier. Should you go for Scepter in most cases, or Blink? Generally, Blink is just better, right?
Yeah, I think so. But then again, you have Blink on Doom and Blink on Bat.
Top
So
tower is under attack.
maybe if you have enough initiation, you need more push.
I think it's mostly for the HP as well, because there's just so much nuke damage coming in from Empire. And when you can get War Trap like he's doing,
Without Blink Dagger.
without Blink Dagger,
you're good.
Yeah, I think most of the time the Blink Dagger is just for like Blink and Hex to catch somebody out. But Empire's taking the fight to you. You just want to survive the initial barrage, drop down your wards and go to work. And I think a Scepter helps you do that.
Roshan's respawn, by the way, in case anybody was wondering, because this seems to be a pretty big focal point for the side of Cloud9. It's only 25 minutes in, so this is not cheese, just second Roshan. But they get it with no contention at all. And I'm not sure if circle wards were necessary, but they drop it anyway. They get the Roshan, Sing's going to be picking up the Aegis. I think the next team fight should pretty handedly go the way of Cloud9. Unless Empire just managed to pull out some of the sickest team fight display that we've seen so far. I mean, if any team are going to do it, it's going to be them.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, highlight that looks like he's going to get a little bit caught. He could probably just disrupt and walk it off. And in fact, he will. Yeah.
He's going to walk into a Sentry here, Resolution. Looking still for a stun.
This is...
Alright, there we go. He's not going to continue chasing. I'm glad for that.
Yes.
This is actually the first time I think I've seen Empire with DK this tournament not having like all the tier 1 towers dead in 25 minutes.
Does it have to do with the Alchemist?
I think it does.
The early game ganks shut him down a little bit, but also I think it's Cloud9 that's taking the initiative. They're forcing the Roshan fights, they're forcing the tower fights. And DK's dying in those fights, unfortunately for him. Shiva's going to go forward. In fact, Envy's going ham, but you got to be careful. He can get swapped back in this, but...
He's still at Aegis. No, he doesn't.
That's true.
No, he doesn't.
No, he's got mech. And
Sting has Aegis, yeah.
Dire's bottom tower has been
They do manage to get the tower that I bought, though, so props to Cloud9 for that. And in the meantime, tier 1 would die, so much for having tier 1s at 25 plus minutes. Looks like they're all dead.
Yep. Held it for a while. Held it for the second Roshan. I think that's the biggest point. It looks like they're going to go for a little bit more Bad Riders. Moving the front line. Blink last two is going to be on the ventral sphere. Well, no more Swapperino. Meanwhile, the Doom's going to go in Resolution, so he's not gaining in the fight as well. He's going to take a roar to the face. Yule Scepter coming out from the Bad Riders, so Beastmaster's going to get a little bit trouble as well. Doom continue charge forward. He's tanking everything. Where's his team? The mech's going to go off, and he's a little bit trouble now. Talking about half HP. Here comes Sing. The sun's going to lob. It's going to go on Silent. Silent taking a chunk of damage. What a flaming lasso coming in against Always Want to Fly. And I don't think they're going to get the kill. Flame break, excuse me.
Oh, they can keep chasing this. Sing has Aegis. He doesn't care about anything, man.
Oh, Link back from Mag.
Oh my god, good down.
And I think they're going to get on one fly. The stun's going to come through.
They're going to get Mag too. They're still continuing to chase. 1-7, maybe wanting the base dive here, but
okay.
It's going to think better of it. And I believe they do have Mass Serpent Wards, but I don't think they use it on the tier 2 here. Maybe they wait. I mean, they can use it if they want.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, okay, they're just going to put it in.
Better safe than sorry.
I thought, like, to a degree, if they're not going to go high ground, then there's no point in saving them. Yeah. But if you were going to try to go high ground, you would just save them for the tier 3. But either way, Cloud9 with another very sound victory. And I got to say, this is a game of a lot less mistakes than we saw previously.
So, how can Empire make the comeback? Especially if Cloud9 aren't making those mistakes.
I mean, I would say that a very late game Dragon Knight Mirana team would be scary, but you're playing up against a Doom and a Bat Rider, which is not enough heroes and isolating. Yeah. I mean, the Alchemist isn't so scary as a 6-slotted hero.
If he goes Abyssal Blade and just clicks
that's also a lockdown through anything.
I just think the strength of Alchemist lies in the fact that when he's mid, you don't typically go points in a Goblin Screed anyway unless it's the one value point, then you just max out the acid spray and the concoction. You go for trying to fight more than anything else, and your lane sustain is crazy, which is great against DK lineups because you never have to go back to base, so your tower never dies. I mean, his did eventually, but what, 27 minutes in, your mid-tier 1 dies, not too shabby if you're Sing. But I think it's more coming down to the Doom, what Shadow Demon actually offers as well to late game, like being able to disrupt the DK when he's an Elder Dragon farm at level 16, and Soul Catcher, which does go through BKB in terms of damage amplification, can just be so good against Empire's lineup.
That was a very long and convoluted way to say that Empire has a very small chance.
Small chance.
Okay.
Alright. Especially with Envy picking up this Aghanim now as well.
He's got it finished. What do you think about the Envy's playstyle? Like, he blinks forward ahead of his team and just go ham. And you have to focus
He gets them to focus them, yeah. Then they use things like Roar on him, and then all of a sudden Shadow Shaman comes in with the blink next.
Or just walking hex. He's gonna come out, and Miranda's gonna go down again, but here comes the last two against Mag. What a flame break from Bone 7. He knows this hero well. It's gonna be Mag on the run. There's a Yules, and the Birds is gonna actually chop AI down very quickly. Then he's gonna walk out. This is gonna come in from Pylite Die. He's probably giving so die to the Birds. Shackle's gonna go down as a result. Always wanna fly. Gonna get locked down, and they're chasing these Birds.
I mean, losing 3 heroes for a Shadow Shaman, it's probably not the best of trades in your Empire right now. I don't know, man. If you just look at the net worth, it's insane how far ahead Cloud9 are. Like, the Doom and the Alchemist are sitting at 18,000 and 16,500 net worth respectively. And then the next highest outside of Silent, who's at 14,000, is the DK, who's at less than 10. And then everyone below that drastically drops in value. The least farm support on Cloud9 is 6k net worth, and the Venge has a third of that.
He has more than a solo offlane Beastmaster.
Yeah. And they're even going to get more money in their pocket right now as they're going to get their tier 2 offlane for free.
Radiant's top tower has
no contention at all coming out from the side of Empire, and rightfully so, as their carry Mirana is still dead.
I think even when C9 want to break high ground, they have a really good team to do it. They have the wards, they have Batrider, they have Shadow Demons, Shadow Poison to give vision for all of that. I don't know, I'd be really worried if I was Empire right now.
I think they are worried.
Yeah, I think they are.
A little bit.
I think they know enough about Dota to know when they should be worried.
I mean, sometimes they just like, no, we keep charging, and we're like, what are they doing? But they win the fight.
They know fear it, man.
Yeah.
But it's not the same though, right? Like, they're not relying on that one ulti to just be the savior anymore. And there's not one hero on Empire where you look at it and you're like, we have to actually deal with this hero or we will just lose the fight. Kind of the same impact that Mag had last game. So I feel like they don't have the same style of composition, but they are going for an interesting backstab here.
Radiant's middle tower
Let's fight now or never fight again.
If they can get Aoi, it could be pretty big. Or Pylite Die, they're going to hit him with an arrow to start things off. Mag's dead, not going to go for the board. Pylite Die with the self-destruction. Aoi, he's going to manage to get his circle wards off before he goes down. Vansford is going to get eaten alive by them. Pylite Die drops in the meantime to Mjolnir on Resolution, doing some pretty good work here, but it's a 3-for-2 trade favoring Cloud9. The chase is on. Resolution with another Dragon Tail. They're actually going to get Bone 7. Envy's actually quite low on top of that, but Sing, he just going to town with his right click. There's a hard right on Resolution, follows it up with the unstable concoction. Resolution now on the high ground, turns around for a Dragon Tail. That is a really tanky Alchemist, man. He do not want to go on that. He's still got his armlet on. He needs to walk out of the acid spray to toggle it, and he will manage to get away.
I'm going to say very few teams in the world could have taken big level depth coming in. Very few teams in the world could have gone for a 3-for-3 exchange before that DK died with that kind of deficit. What a magnificent backstab. I think the key factor in that fight was AI 2000 surviving long enough to drop his mass circuit wards.
Mag, maybe
gonna take a stun. The swap's gonna come in from Vanscore. Endo just walk it off. People are still alive, but this tier 3 will not be alive. They're focusing everything on Envy, and he's dropping fast. Blink into right clicks coming out from Mag. I think they might get Envy. Maximus will get him as well. Great play coming out from Empire.
I don't get it, man. How did they
do it? Like, we just say they could not win a fight anymore, and I consider that as a victory. Trading 4-for-4
with a deficit, definitely. Because the amount of experience you gain is insane when you're this far behind.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at it totally objectively, at the beginning of the fight, they arrowed Pylite Die, right? So it's really, really nice to be able to jump on him. But the fact is, they didn't kill either support instantly. Like, 2 of them went on Aoi in the back, and then 2 more were just attacking Pylite Die. So Aoi still ended up getting his Mad Serpent wards off, which ended up just straight up killing Vanscore. So the fight could have actually gone even better if they just focused one of the supports down assuredly and killed him. I don't know.
I kind of almost felt like that was the best outcome, though. Because if you don't kill Pylite Die, he gets the disruption off. That could have made things ugly. And obviously, if you don't kill the shaman, he drops the wards.
So you're saying like having them both really low means that no matter what, they can't fight.
And they got both. So I know the Master Ward being dropped was not too good for Vanscore, but again, their respawn timer is so low that they came back and defended the base. And I think the critical factor of that fight is they made Cloud9 go back, and look at where the creep equilibrium is. They get to push things out and fight for another day.
I just want to mention, Sing is maybe the tankiest thing I've ever seen right now.
It's pretty scary. He has evasion and the plus armor and the heart.
Yeah.
It's kind of like...
I would actually be shocked if he dies.
Well, he could technically die without his ultimate.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, without his ultimate, I think, is the only possible time. But that's usually when you want to kill an alchemist anyway. And this bat, man, Refresher Bone 7. I want to see 2 lassos at once.
Do you remember we were talking about this for weeks?
Yeah, we really wanted to see like a bat rider who could actually lasso 2 people simultaneously.
And drag them both.
Yeah. I don't even know if you can do that. I've never seen it before.
Who knows?
We gotta like make a lobby if it doesn't happen this game and see if you can actually do it.
I think what the refresher allows you to do, it's pretty rare, but you could blink forward, then refresh immediately, blink again, and then just like get the train of lasso going on.
Yeah, but do you want to do that? I think he would just like blink lasso, and
force
then like
refresh,
yeah, and you just pull one hero all the way out.
Uh-oh, the fight's gonna break out right now. It's Moonlight Shadow. Here comes. Oh no, it's completely caught, but the rest of the team is here. Big Roar's gonna come through. Can they kill AI 2000? In fact, they will. Big fight coming out for Empire, and they're just killing everything. But Sing Sing though, can he be killed? That's about half HP. He's getting trafficked by everybody, and he's actually gonna get brought down to swap back in. They're gonna get 1 kill, and why is Sing Sing not dead yet? Sing Sing, it is immortal. He's killing everybody. The bash is gonna come through, and they actually win that fight.
Another bash! Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Okay.
Holy shit. That refresh Battler ulti, holy
He won them the fight straight up.
He put the Mirana on the ledge after she leaped, and she could not move. She was just standing there.
Bench had to swap her, but then
she was already doomed.
Yeah,
it didn't even matter.
God.
Holy shit.
Bone 7. What a player. I mean, putting the DK on the high ground wasn't as big of a deal because he had Dragon Form on.
Yeah.
But pulling Silent across the river, like without that damage output, they couldn't kill Sing. And if they had killed Sing there, I think they would have won the fight.
If Alliance is watching right now and then Cloud9 makes it through, I don't think you give Bone 7 Bad Rider.
I don't think so either.
In any of these games. Also though, in that particular fight, keep in mind that Empire did an excellent job in killing AI 2000. He didn't gas anything.
Yeah.
And that's a bad sign. That was essentially a 4v5. Well, not 4v5 because Empire just are cooling down on their spells. But they removed the big threat and they still could not win the fight.
I don't know, man. Sing Sing #immortal.
Yeah.
Literally unkillable.
It looked a little bit dicey there, but he was able to tank.
He was hitting every single hero that was able to hit him was hitting him.
Oh my god.
So who do you get the Aegis to? Not Sing Sing, right?
Has fallen to the dark.
Alright.
Yeah, okay.
Give cheese to Sing Sing.
Yeah, he can drop his TP, I think, at this point. Or he can just keep it and
I thought you might have gave the Aegis to AEI.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's the least tanky hero who
and
is
he's getting
likely
focused.
to die first.
Yeah, he's getting focused.
I kind of agree with that.
Oh my god.
Well,
that's a refresher nuke, by the way.
Double Shivas, always want to fly. Not walking at all.
Definitely not walking that off. It's just a fletcher. It's fine. Oh, Roar from Mag onto Bone 7 outside of the base, but Envy's here. They do have another Doom up.
Yes,
Lasso is off cooldown. Zed's going to be popped as well. Resolution with the Dragon Tail. Envy can be in some trouble here. He does have Aegis, but he does not have BKB. Resolution. He's getting a Lasso. Nice swap from Vanscore. Saves Resolution from back inside the base. Envy blinks in aggressively. He gets a Doom off onto Resolution inside of the base. Style in the meantime just going ham. Just continually diving here to try to get some more kills, and Sing ends up just getting the kill anyway on Resolution. Buyback from Vanscore, tier 3 now under siege in the Saints lane. They're just outside the well. Envy's like here forever. Another last one coming out from Bone 7, this time on Silent. That's going to be the Marauder down. He immediately buys back his drone from the Pylai die onto Mag, trying to just dive the well here. This Cloud9, they're feeling confident right now. Are they actually going to be able to take the game? Sing is the only one playing objective gaming. He gets the racks with the help of the Master Rewards.
Sing is like, my team is throwing, but I'm not throwing with them. I'm going to take the racks, they get to do the distraction, and he is going back to the mid-rack. Swap's going to be in him. They actually want him dead. The birds are going to be him. They're doing a lot. It's half HP, but he's actually going to fight his way out of there, I think. 3 more suns are coming in.
Oh my god, he's so angry.
Oh my god, he's gonna just kill everybody now. Hit,
Never give up. Never surrender.
The final boss is Sing Song, and Sing Song gets lured as the birds are coming back. He's actually gonna die, Empire. How are you doing this?
He's dead.
Yep.
Envy might be dying too. He doesn't have an Aegis this time. Arrow's going to come into the high ground, the blink away. Envy should be okay. Silent once more, man. He had to buy back for that fight.
Sing Sing confirmed not immortal.
Oh.
Okay, Cloud9 are actually well diving instead of winning the game.
Yeah, that's
kind of questionable.
Sing is like, guys.
These buildings,
you should hit these. They're pretty important. He was the only one hitting them.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, suffice to say, Cloud9 are still in a pretty damn good spot. They could have just won the game there, I think, if they had just played it a little less Cloud9-y.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that a word now?
It's a
little bit less clowny.
A little less clowny.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Basically, Cloud9 saying you can have the tier 2. It's yours. We're gonna sit in base and we're gonna wait for Sing Sing.
We need our leader.
Yeah.
Okay, so the refreshers are nearly off cooldown again.
It's actually unreal how hard he is to kill.
Yeah. What was it like?
They're actually going out the base. I don't
solutions.
promote this play from Cloud9 because Sing Sing's dead for 15. But whatever.
He has bots, doesn't he?
They do kind of have like a 30,000 golden experience lead.
Look, if you're 1 game away from advancing to the finals, you play it safe.
I agree.
Alright, well, they're going to go in the woods right now. They're going to find Vance, or at the very least, no, they're actually going even deeper. They want to get Always Wanna Fly, or maybe they just get a float. Vance is going to be dying at the same time as Always Wanna Fly. They even expend a Doom for it. Both supports down for almost a minute on the side of Empire, so maybe not an advisable smoke gank, but still ended up working out in their favor.
Yeah, they are just like out-muscling Empire at this point.
I really like the way Envy plays his Doombringer. Just so aggressive, like in their face.
I just like the build of this Doom because it's the ultimate. If I'm in the fight and I Doom your targets, they can never ever come back in the fight.
Not only that, he also eats a lot of nukes and stuns while dooming the target. It's not like you can ignore him because he right clicks with plus, what was it? 300 damage almost. Buyback, disrupted. Here it comes. Ross's not dropping his master boards. They're actually getting Sing Sing down to about half, and here comes the rest of the team. It's going to be dragging the DK out, and it's going to be dragging him again. Resolution's out there fighting against more, and Bat Rider's dragging yet another person from 7, putting on a clinic on how to play Bat Rider. The Rax is going to go down next to the wards. Envy's zoning everybody out. That's going to be a second lane of Rax. And Empire not calling it just yet.
I don't know how they're supposed to stop this, though, to be totally honest. Like, I understand not calling it, but how are they going to get Cloud9 out of their base?
DK fights back. It's going to be the last lane of Rax. Mega creeps are coming soon. Teleportation can come in. Does he even have DK form? The swap's going to come in. Sing Sing does he have most of it? He's 3 hits Vanstor. Envy's going to finish the hit. Resolution gets dragged over. Resolution is going to be dead. No, he's trying to walk it up. Down to about 4 HP. Sing Sing in the front line just does not care.
I think that's it. I mean, Resolution just died back. There's one last set of racks remaining inside of Empire. And it's not going to be long for this world. Envy picks up a triple kill. GG! Cloud9 are going to the finals to play up against the Lions.
Unreal.
I actually like... Cloud9 obviously won the game, but it's actually insane to watch Empire with team fights because you're looking at that game, and let's bar the fight bottom when they were pushing for the racks because they could have won the game there in my opinion, but they still managed to get insane amount of kills given how far behind they were. Like 15,000 golden experience about 25 minutes into the game or 30 minutes into the game is how far behind they were, and they were still making it look like, okay, they're still